Two of the best manufacturers in the amusement industry are Intamin out of Liechtenstein and RMC out of Idaho, and the rides they create are phenomenal. But the best part is when a park has one of each.
And there's actually a surprising amount of those. We made a list, right, of all of the parks that have a good Intamin RMC 1-2 punch.
And you'd be surprised. Like, I feel like there's a couple that come to mind. Like, the ones that you're thinking of right now are probably the ones that everyone thinks of, but actually, when you look at it, I mean, it's pretty impressive.
What we're gonna do here with this list is we're not going to base it off of, like, just one of the two rides, right? Like, Iron Gwazi is a phenomenal RMC, maybe the best. But if you look at the corresponding Intamin in that park, it's not one of the best. So you kind of have to take the Intamin and the RMC and kind of find, like, an average, right? Like a metaphorical average. It's not like a number, but like where, when you put these two together, do they rank in the scheme of things with others of the same idea? Do we get what I'm doing here?
Absolutely. So, let's start off with our number 10, Six Flags Great America with Goliath and American Eagle.
Yeah, so we actually just did this recently, minus American Eagle.
Yeah, American Eagle was actually close.
It was, but we've done it before. So American Eagle is a really fun coaster.
I'll tell you what, though, that ride has a passionate fan base. Like, people who like American Eagle really like American Eagle.
Goliath is universally kind of considered one of the weaker RMCs, and it's in no way weak.
It's a short ride.
Yeah,
so
but when you look in the scheme of RMC coasters, it's on the weaker end. And I would say American Eagle is on the weaker end, don't kill me, for Intamin coasters.
No, it definitely is. So that's why it's at the number 10 spot.
So for the number 9 spot, this one is a little weird because we have two RMCs, and this will happen a few times throughout the list with either manufacturer, but we're going to Six Flags Magic Mountain with Twisted Colossus / Wonder Woman and Superman.
Here's the thing. I would put actually Twisted Colossus and Wonder Woman on a similar par in terms of like the RMC scale, in terms of how much I enjoy them. I actually don't know which ride I like more because Wonder Woman, I think, is one of the weaker Raptors, and Twisted Colossus just annoys the crap out of me. So, regardless, then you pair that up with Superman, which is a pretty cool launch coaster, but kind of has a similar issue with Goliath of it is an extremely short ride. So while I enjoy everything that they have to offer, it's by no means top tier. Which brings us then to Six Flags New England at our number 8 spot. And I feel like this one might cause a bit of an uproar. Some people might think this should be higher, but we have Wicked Cyclone and Superman the Ride.
So I love Wicked Cyclone.
Amazing ride.
It is a really great RMC. Superman, though, is a little odd. I apparently said that I really liked it in the video, but my brain tells me that I didn't. I don't know. I always get into this argument with my friend who lives up there, and they're like, you said you liked it. I'm like, I don't think I did. Did I lie?
No, but there's a thing that happens, like an introspective like look back after you visit a park sometimes when you're like, in the moment enjoying it, and then when you go back and think about it, you're like, you know, maybe it actually wasn't as great as I remembered.
I just remember it really hurting my legs. Like, I really liked the layout, but it was like,
oh,
ow.
The problem is absolutely Superman's restraints. That is the sole issue, I feel like, with this, that is holding it back from being higher. Because on paper, Superman is just an amazing layout.
It's kind of a pain in the butt, though, isn't it?
Yeah, so maybe if they eventually decide to give some new restraints, give them the new Intamin over-the-shoulder lap bars, hey, that'd be pretty awesome. Then we can talk. We can move this up.
So at the number 7 spot, we have Busch Gardens Tampa with Iron Gwazi, which, as we said, one of the best RMCs in the world.
Maybe the best.
And Cheetah Hunt.
Yeah, I feel like if Busch Gardens Tampa had a stronger Intamin coaster, then that would solve all of the problems here. Because we're not huge Cheetah Hunt fans, but maybe if you ask someone else, then this wouldn't be anywhere near as low as we currently have.
Well, it's a fun ride. Like, I don't deny that. Like, I have fun when I ride it. It's just not super memorable, and it's like
tame.
Well, which is okay, but you have an inversion thrown in there, and then suddenly it's like, okay, so this is a thrill coaster. So
yeah.
As a thrill coaster, it's kind of weak, but as a family coaster, it's too much. So it's very weird.
It doesn't need the over-the-shoulder restraints either, and like, I don't know, pacing, it's just a little funky. So I think that this is a fine spot for this one, because, yeah, if we were just looking at like the RMC side of things, I mean, with Iron Gwazi, man, I mean, that's an insane roller coaster.
Yeah, you have a shirt on.
Yeah.
Right now that says it.
I think I bought it before I even rode it. I don't regret it at all.
That is blind faith right there. And you know what? I respect it.
Yeah. So let's go across the pond to Wallaby Holland. There is an incredible matchup here with Untamed, which was a redo of Robin Hood, and then Goliath, an Intamin mega coaster. I really enjoyed this park before Untamed, but once they added that was like the perfect addition that they needed. That was like the crown jewel. It's just so rewritable, extremely fluid layout. And then Goliath, not as intense, but still has some really creative moments. It was ahead of its time, really. I feel like that was just like a top tier ride when it made its debut.
Yeah. So up until this point, now that we've done the bottom 5, I will say out of the duos, I have preferred the RMC for all of them so far out of them. But that is about to change with number 5, which is Six Flags Great Adventure. And the duo here is kind of up for debate. Obviously Jersey Devil is going to be the RMC, but you could say either El Toro or King Ka.
Yeah, I feel like we have to go with the better ride here, so I'm going to say El Toro, which is interesting because with Magic Mountain, we didn't really come to a conclusion because I feel like people go very back and forth on which one is better. But I feel like at Great Adventure, it's pretty unanimous that everyone likes El Toro better than King Ka.
Yeah, at least out of enthusiasts.
Yeah, definitely. So, Jersey Devil is one of the weaker RMCs.
But El Toro
it's
is
still
that
good.
good.
It's still really good. But yeah, El Toro is what is like carrying this, I feel like. How Iron Gwazi was carrying Busch Gardens Tampa. But I feel like Cheetah Hunt is a weak link. Jersey Devil I wouldn't say is weak. I think it's still a top tier ride at this park. Speaking of home parks, yeah, King's Dominion is up next, our number 4 spot. And Twisted Timbers and I-305 is one of the best 1-2 punches on the planet.
Not even just RMC Intamin 1-2 punches, just period.
Period, yeah. Intamin 305, Project 305 now, is incredible. One of the most intense, maybe the most intense roller coaster in the world. And then you throw in Twisted Timbers, which is just airtime galore. That thing, they took the layout from Hurler and said, this isn't very interesting, so let's just give it a ridiculous number of airtime hills. And I love it.
They did.
Yeah, it's unreal.
It's literally like how much airtime do you want? Yes.
Correct.
So number 3 is another one that might spark a little bit of debate. But we're going to head over to Ohio and look at Cedar Point. So we have Steel Vengeance, which is the only RMC, so that's easy. And then for our Intamin, we picked Maverick.
Yeah, I feel like Maverick is, among most enthusiasts at this point, considered to be the best Intamin coaster. I know Millennium Force has us like diehard fans, but for this we were going with Maverick, and I feel like when most people saw the title of this video, they assumed this would be number 1.
You would be wrong.
Yeah,
but you are close.
I think that both of these rides are world-class. They are incredible experiences, but I think that you can make a very strong argument for the next 2 that are to follow. And I think that really, the top 3 that we're looking at is all so good that I think you could interchange any of them and you could make a dang good argument for it.
Yeah, because it was kind of weird like getting up to the top because these are like 3 of my favorite RMCs and 3 of my favorite Intamin coasters all together. And it's like, ooh, like it's very nuanced trying to figure out like which one's slightly better than the other. So Steel Vengeance is somewhat unanimously, at least pre-Iron Gwazi, was considered the best RMC.
Yeah.
Now it's like we could go 1 or 2, I feel, is typically where it's at. But Maverick is not as highly talked about as the next Intamin on the list, in my opinion.
I don't know. I feel like they're pretty even.
I don't know.
It's tough to say, but we're referring to Hershey Park with Wildcats Revenge and Sky Rush. Man, what a combo.
Yeah.
Those 2 rides are insane. I feel like before people rode Wildcats Revenge, they assumed it would be a mid-tier RMC, and then everyone rides in, they're like, no, that is one of the best.
The narrator says, it was not.
Yeah, correct, yeah. And then Sky Rush, like, most enthusiasts just are over the moon about this, and especially now that it has the updated restraints, I feel like now you get all the enthusiasts are like, yes, this is the ride that is just like, wow, from start to finish. I know there's a lot of back and forth between what is the better ride, Sky Rush or Wildcats Revenge, and that is the sign of a good 1-2 punch, that there is so much debate of which is better. And to its credit, Steel Vengeance and Maverick has that too. I don't feel like
it's as much.
It's not as much, but it's still there.
Yeah, and that actually is going to bring us to our number 1, which I think that out of all of them on this list, this is the one that is the closest. Now, the reason that this might not have been the first one to come to your mind is because not as many people have done this 1-2 punch because it's kind of far out there, but that is going to take us to Poland for Energylandia, aka the home of Zadra and Hyperion. Which one's better?
Yeah. I feel like it does lean a little bit more towards Zadra, but
I don't agree with that.
But I don't either.
And that's crazy to say because Zadra is unbelievable.
Yeah,
Unbelievable.
both rides are incredible.
If you love Iron Gwazi, you will love Zadra. Like,
Yeah.
for sure. And, like, Hyperion is debatably, like, one of the most amazing roller coasters I've ever done in my entire life. Like, it is so insane, and it really, like, even heightened my appreciation for Intamin, because I had never done anything quite like that from them.
Sure, totally. The ride is absolutely enormous, and the airtime is fantastic on both of those. Zadra is one of the best paced rides on the planet. The speed that you have on that is ridiculous. The stall is incredible. You hit the brake run with so much force. It is like bam, bam, bam.
Hyperion being as good as it is, I feel like it is under talked about.
Because of Zadra.
Because of Zadra. And, like, I don't think that people quite realize that it's basically a giga coaster.
It's close. It's not quite there, but it's very,
Which
very
apparently
tall.
is fine in Ohio, but is not okay in
Oh, that's a terrain thing. Poland is flat.
If it isn't totally obvious, we are really into RMC.
Yep, and we love Intamin.
And we also really love Intamin. We may not have made a documentary about them, but that does not mean we don't love them just as much.
Yeah, so let us know down in the comments below, what are your favorite RMC Intamin 1-2 punches? Do you agree with this list? Do you think that some should be higher, some should be lower?
Oh, there's going to be some people who are...
There's going to be some debate. There will be debates.
Yeah, this one's definitely going to be a rager.
But
in
that's
the comment
fine.
section. I can't wait to see you all there.
That's okay. Everyone has their opinions, and that's all right. So thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next time.